Hello everyone, this is Kamal from Talking Smart and we are going to be talking about sentences today. Recently I uploaded a video on how to speak like a pro and thank you very much for all the wonderful comments people gave. But then there was something that really put me in a thought, because there were a lot of comments and a lot of people asking me things which I felt needed to be addressed. So like things like, how do we start, or I don't know what tense to use when I have to speak, or where to lay stress upon and where not to while I'm speaking on stage, or how do I pronounce certain words. What do I do if words don't come out of my mouth? So I thought, well, let's break down the whole process of speaking first. And in order to be able to speak fluently, first you need to understand the basic of the spoken word, and that is a sentence. Now, what is a sentence? Okay, I know everybody knows what a sentence is. Many of you must be thinking, what kind of a question is that? But anyway, so I'll answer it for you. So as everybody knows, it's a group of words strung together that make a sentence. A group of words strung together? Well, okay, I have a group of words for you over here. Sat, I, corner, in, a. So these words are all strung together. And do they make a sentence? No. So what is a sentence? Sentence is a group of words strung together, yes, but they make complete sense. So if I take the previous words which I had told you or given to you, and I put them in some kind of an order, and they will make sense. So if I put these given words and say, write down as I sat in a corner, they make sense? Yes, they do. So why do they make sense and the other arrangement did not? And that is what we are going to be talking about today. Now we are able to string few words together that make complete sense in a logical order. But then, is that all that is to a sentence? Well, a sentence has a pattern, and that pattern is what we'll be understanding today. Now, like, we talk about a person or a thing, and then we talk about what that person or a thing is doing. We say about it. So that means we must have a subject to speak about. That is a person or a thing about which we have to speak. And secondly, we must say or predicate something about that subject. So that makes sense. For example, when I say, I sat in a corner. Now, I is the subject. We are speaking about I. And sat in a corner is the predicate, because that is what we are talking about. Okay, so now this is the pattern of a sentence. A subject and a predicate. The person or thing we are talking about and what we are talking about it. So remember this pattern when we talk about sentences. So let's do a little practice over here. There's a sentence that I'm giving you. The boy stood on the burning deck. Now what's the subject? The boy. Person we are talking about stood on a burning deck is the predicate, because that's what we are talking about. Or, for example, he has a good memory. So he is the subject, he's the person we are talking about, and has a good memory, we're talking about that person. What does he have? So that's what a sentence is. That's how you string the words together to make complete sense. It's not just haphazard words put together. There has to be a subject, and then there has to be something that we are talking about the subject. So that makes a proper good sentence. So now we know what a sentence is and what a subject, my hair. And now we know what a subject is. So let's talk about the different kinds of sentences. Now sentences are not just one sentence, no, one kind, one way. There are many kinds of sentences, and many of you would be giving me those looks. Yeah, we know, there's a question, there is a statement, there's maybe an order, or a request, or maybe an exclamation. So what kind of sentences do we have? So technically there are 4 kinds of sentences. The first one is a declarative or an assertive sentence that makes a statement. A sentence that makes a statement. For example, if we take the previous example over here, I sat in a corner. It's a statement. He's just telling you what he did. So it's a statement. It's a declarative statement, sentence, or an assertive sentence. The second kind of sentence is an interrogative sentence. A sentence which asks questions. Like, where do you live? He's asking a question. What did you do? How old are you? Or, stuff like that. If you remember, we talked about, I'm going to digress here. We talked about speaking like a pro and having to write down, chalk out everything. I chalked out my stuff. So then the third sentence, coming back to sentence making, that's just a little secret tip, is a command. When you give a command, or you make a request, the third kind of sentence is called an imperative sentence. So for example, if I say be quiet, that's a command. Please help us, it's a request. So now imperative sentence necessarily will not have a subject. Okay, we can assume it. Like if you say you are to be quiet, you is a subject, are to be quiet is the predicate. Now that would make a statement. It would make an assertive or a declarative sentence. It would not be an imperative sentence. So to make it into an imperative sentence, you have to do away with the subject, and you just say be quiet, and that's it. And then the fourth category of sentences is a sentence that tells about very strong feelings. So you express some kind of an emotion. For example, what a shame. You're expressing embarrassment. How cold the night is. You're expressing an uncomfortable emotion. So now, you know what different kinds of sentences are. So let's challenge ourselves to identify different kinds of sentences out of these. And before we identify these different kinds of sentences, let's go through them once again. A declarative or an assertive sentence, that is a statement. Interrogative sentence, that is a question. an imperative sentence, that is a command or a request, and an exclamatory sentence that talks about strong emotions. Okay, all set? Okay, so let's talk about some sentences, and now you identify them. Let's see if you are able to identify them. I'll give you time for that. Sentence number 1. Have you understood sentences? What kind of a statement is this? Yeah, it's a interrogative. It's an interrogative sentence. Question number 2. Statement number 2. You have learned that sentences are a group of words making sense. What kind of a sentence is that? Let me repeat that. You have learned that sentences are a group of words making sense. So what is that? It's a declarative sentence or an assertive sentence, a statement. Did you think they were difficult? No. So what kind of a sentence is this? It's a question. Did you think they were difficult? So it's a question, it's an interrogative sentence. How could you? How could you? No, it's not a question. It is an exclamatory sentence. He's exclaiming, he's shocked. Go check them out again. It's a command. Go, check them out. You were wrong. You did a wonderful job. It's a statement. It's a statement. No exclamation. You did a wonderful job. Okay, it's a tone also. Now, okay, let's get back to that. The statement could be a sentence, it could be an exclamation, it could be a question, it could be an imperative command or something. But when you speak it out, you have to use a proper tone. When I talked about, somebody asked me in the beginning, where do I put stress on when I have to speak to clarify my idea. So that's how it is. You did a wonderful job. It's a statement. But if I say, you did a wonderful job, that's an exclamation. Wonderful job. It's a compliment. It's an imperative sentence. Did you do a wonderful job? It's a question. Well done. Imperative. Well done is exclamatory. So this brings us to what? The end of your basic sentence identification. You identified 4 different sentences. You identified what is a sentence, what is the pattern of a sentence, and the 4 kinds. Now, let's go through them once again. Our objective for today's video was that you should be able to identify sentences. So you got to know that there is a structure of a sentence. That structure includes a subject, a predicate, and then 4 different kinds of sentences. Assertive or declarative, that's a statement. Interrogative, a question. Imperative, a command or a request. Exclamatory, expressing deep emotions or strong emotions. So that's it. That's how you express or you speak out or you identify different sentences. Okay, so now before we log off, do click the subscribe button and the bell icon so that I can reach you as soon as the next topic is uploaded, because the next topic is gonna be uploaded pretty soon. Till then, happy sentencing and have a great day.